Hello and welcome back to another episode of American Trucking Simulator. Let's go ahead and get back into the things. We got an email. We can help you grow the bank. Dear Sir / Madam, we couldn't help but notice your steady earnings and we would feel like to assist you with developing your potential even further. Your credit limit has been raised to $500,000. Feel free to draw from the available sum anytime at your local bank center. Respectfully, Sales Manager Bank. Man, I love it when the bank's like, man, this person has a job. Can we offer him a credit card? And you're like, damn, that seems invasive. Oh well. Shall we hit up the job market to further increase our earnings and maybe someday own a truck? Let's see. Price per distance. It's always the good things. There's so many transformers. It's always the stuff with the heavy loads. I'm kind of tired of the heavy loads because it seems to be incredibly annoying when you can't get in and out of parking lots, and the fact that I got hit by a train has really kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So we're going to take some toys from Phoenix to Socorro. That sounds like a fun drive. We'll maybe take some slippity side roads. Could be a good time here. We'll make 11 grand out of this. Oh, okay. Gotta, stretch it out. Oh, I love cracking my neck, even though it's like horrifying. Come on, this is just as long as the Transformer. God, it's just fat. Like it's instead of like thin piece and then a big piece, it's just two big pieces. I'm mad. I was hoping to get away with not having to transport 2 giant trailers worth of things, but I guess that's how you make the big bucks, isn't it? You get that one huge specialization. Excuse me, we gotta turn on the radio. I believe we left off at I don't know, we'll just say ticker. Well, I have ticker 1 and ticker not 1. Go with just ticker. Don't want to fuck that up. I'm also gonna crank it up a little bit. This is a classic. This is a real banger. All right, let's pull out of here. Ignore all semblance of the idea of traffic and road signs. We don't need those in life. You know what? You ever feel in life like things are just keeping you down, bro? Like, you do you, huh? Fuck the road signs, fuck the street laws. You just get out there and you do what you want to do. Ignore everybody else, because you're you and you're special. And I should really turn on my headlights if I don't want to die. Well, have you considered that you're speeding too, mister? I'm going 35 and a 35! Who was speeding here? Going 1 mile an hour over the speed limit. Boom, book him. God, take him to jail. What a fucking scumbag. Didn't see me get hit by that train earlier. Where were you then, Mr. Police? Blame the fucking train for coming down on top of this truck. Even though it was probably my fault too, let's be honest. I'll take the blame. I like to take the L. Not I can take the blame myself. Not everything is everybody else's fault. Most things aren't. I'm just an idiot. Okay, are we getting off here? I can't tell. I think we get off here. We gotta take the exit. Take the exit. Let's go for it. I don't want to go the wrong way ever. Like, that just sounds horrible. Like, missing your exit is just like probably just a really upsetting thing. Because, you're like, damn, now I gotta go to the next exit, which in rural areas can be quite a while. Unless the one thing I appreciate with kind of more rural interstates is that, yeah, at least in Wisconsin, which I travel to fairly frequently, just because it's the next state over, but on 94 they have those like mid-highway turn things, because there's county roads passing through them. They're like, if you want to get on the county road, you're gonna have to turn on the highway. So despite the fact that it's like a 65 mile/hour zone, just fucking go. Take a left, pull a U-ey if you really need to, all that things. But when you mix your exit, you're like, well, fuck, the next exit's like 20 miles down the road. Even then, it's just a pain in the ass. Like, couldn't you just have let me know ahead of time, GPS, despite the fact that you did? I'm just horrible at judging distances. It's something I really hate. I don't know visually how far a quarter of a mile is. I certainly don't know visually how far 1,000 feet is. Like, could you choose a different metric of distance other than 1,000 feet? Like, I appreciate it when it's like, at the next intersection, take a right. And I'm like, okay, I can do that. in the upcoming exit, stay in the right 2 lanes. I'm like, yeah, that makes total sense. And then it's like, in the next 1,000 feet, take the fork to the left in this 5-lane exchange. And I'm like, who the hell has designed these abominations of roads? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Anything with more than 4 roads coming out of an intersection, just get it out of here. Actually get it out of here. You're not allowed anymore, okay? What are you gonna do? Be a roundabout too? Oh, stupid roundabouts. What are you, supposedly like statistically safer than most intersections? Oh, fuck you. You know what, as much as I'd like to believe in a roundabout being okay, and the fact that it's not that hard to learn, people are so dumb when it comes to roundabouts for some reason. Like they've never seen them before, and then all of a sudden they're like, let's do donuts around this roundabout. You know, who gets the right of way? I don't know, but I guess I do, because I'm there. And it's like, well, this is just dangerous. At least with, you know, like a stop sign, it's like, yeah, okay, I can stop here and check that I don't get deboned. But that, you know, doesn't always happen. Damn shame. We gotta get these toys. We gotta get these toys there, and that's what's important. I'm pretty tired. It's 1:15 in the morning. We're just trying to get to bed. I'd like to live at a more reasonable time, sleep schedule, but you know, I have a hard time going to sleep so early when I'm already fucked up my sleep schedule. So how was your day? I'm talking about roads for a while. I would love to hear how your day was. You know, my day? My day was pretty alright. Once again, a nice day. So far, just a nice, beautiful week in terms of weather. You know, I went out, had an okay time outside in the sun. Real pretty. Not a whole lot of like trees have started blooming or anything, so that always sucks. My allergies suck though. Like, what are you gonna do? Spring? Stop trying to get all this plant shit up in here. And then, you know, the one thing that I realized, I was out and about. I got a ping on my phone. Now I have an Android phone, so it pinged me with like just a recommended news story from Google. I was like, okay, these aren't always the worst because it just takes my search habits that are like, here's some keywords that could be interesting for the news. For some reason, even though I haven't really looked it up at all, I got a Google like newsletter recommendation for Forbes magazine talking about Fortnite updates, and I'm like, slow down. One, I don't even give a shit about Fortnite, nor do I ever look it up intentionally, so that's a little weird. Two, Forbes is talking about fucking Fortnite. Why? Like, I get that they're a diverse magazine and news corporation, but like, why Fortnite? Second of all, it wasn't even like a big deal about Fortnite. It was like, here's some changes they're gonna make in the upcoming patch, and the explanation of some horseshit that I don't even understand because I don't know anything about Fortnite. And I'm like, Forbes, this seems like a very bizarre thing for you to talk about. But two, has Fortnite become so popular that popular news sources need to talk about it? Like, that's a strange realization for me to come to, is that video games are so, like, popular now that it deserves national news attention. Or even a minuscule amount of time. Like, normally, you know, but there's definitely gaming news sources out there. You get some, like, Kotaku or something, and you'd be like, okay, very specific focus that does well because it caters to gamers and etc. Then all of a sudden, you know, like, Forbes is like, hey, there's like way too many people playing this game, we can definitely get a news story in there. It's just like, that's actually outrageous to me. Like, goddamn, Fortnite should not be that popular, it seems. I don't know, it's like, maybe I just don't understand what the level of becoming like a national thing. Like, how many people does it take? Like, to be a well-recognized thing. Like, World of Warcraft in its prime had what, like 12 million subscribers? Does that mean it's big enough to be a national phenomena? Where people was like everybody aware of its existence in like 2008 or whatever, whenever it was super popular? Or was it just kind of those people and their related people who knew about it? But now Fortnite, I don't know how popular Fortnite is. I might want to look that up, because I assume gaming has only gotten more popular in the past decade. You're also speeding. I've lost like almost $1,000 in speeding violations already. God damn it. But anyway, hey, what an incredible thing that video gaming has become. And it has only grown since its existence, and has become more popular, and has become more diverse, and has become like more technologically advanced, and has become a bigger part of society in most cultures. And I'm like, that's incredible, first of all. And I'm like, man, it's come to a point where everybody needs to know about it. Same with YouTube. There was that point in like 2015 or whatever where all the news sources were like, this one man PewDiePie makes millions of dollars talking about horseshit. And I'm like, man, does everybody need to know about this? Like, certainly it's strange enough that I guess it garners news attention, but it's just become a bigger thing in the past 3 years as well. Even on Twitch, which brings up another thing. Just recently, I was checking Twitter, as I few people I follow just for like updates on news, including Twitch, which was like, hey, come watch the Korean with the Korean meeting between Kim Jong-un and I forget the president's name right now of South Korea, but like, come watch their summit. And I'm like, okay, Twitch has become such a popular streaming service that it even does international news stories for people. I'm like, this is so crazy to me. Like, I get that they're branching out, but from what it started, it seems so different. Like, Twitch has been around for probably 7-8 years now, right? I remember the first time I watched Twitch, I had seen somebody for like 2 weeks, and they were on a different streaming service, Justin TV, and that's probably gotta be dead by now, but like, come over to Twitch, I'm like, it seems like a pretty good platform for streaming. You know, it's certainly slowed down just because, you know, it's really hard to commit that amount of time to watching something. Like, you really gotta be free for a while to just open up a stream and watch it in the background, where, you know, I much prefer cut down content of, you know, television, movies, and YouTube videos. But it's like, still, it's grown in such popularity, bought out by Amazon, which I'm sure makes a huge difference, and, you know, expanded into what it is. Getting like football games and stuff now, drone racing, I'm sure, but like, just crazy, dude. It's just wild stuff. And that doesn't even, like, what then is also crazy to me is that doesn't always translate to cultures outside of the US and North America. Like, I know Japan and Korea have like their just unique streaming services to cater towards their audiences, and I'm like, it's so popular over there that they need their own. First of all, it's just like, that's just insane. Now, I've had a weird like past month in terms of just like, I sat down and I was like, I find some parts of Korean and Japanese culture to be super weird, especially idols. And you know, if you don't know what idols are, it's pretty much like young women to very young girls, just like kind of dancing and singing, while mostly middle-aged men enjoy it. And you're like, if you know, right off the gate, you're like, this goes pretty weird. Like, even if they're like 18, 19-year-old girls and there's mostly 45-year-old men just kind of in the audience, I'm like, that's a little strange. But then it gets to the point where like there's 9-year-olds with 45-year-old men watching them, and I'm like, okay, we've reached a point of where I just don't think that's okay. I think that's actually just incredibly wrong. I had watched a documentary that's on Netflix called Tokyo Idols. It was a pretty decent documentary if you can survive the just cringiness of watching grown men talk about how they like fantasize over young girls. If you can get through that, you know, it's pretty good. Talks about some of the reasons why it's become so popular as well. But it's like, man, their culture just seems so different to ours. But also, very similar in a lot of ways. So they live in kind of similar societies with certain, you know, like political structures are very similar. But then just like certain parts of the culture are just like abstract takings of the Western culture for the past like 20 years. Which brings me to another point of I watch trash, which I'm sure you know, but I watched a Korean drama today about it was kind of like a mini series K-drama about just like 5 really shitty idols getting picked up by a manager who turns them around. What a heart-throbbing story of redemption and, you know, fame and friendship. And you're like, okay, you know what? It is what it is. It's cliche as hell, but whatever. The problem I had with it is the fashion. What the hell is going on in Korean fashion? I'm like, this is the most bizarre shit. Every outfit, I couldn't stop staring at how fucking weird it was. Like, it's so hard to describe because every outfit was bizarre. You know, there were a few outfits where, like, you know, obviously, like, suits. I'm like, okay, that's a suit. Sure. Kind of hard to fuck that up. Except for the guy in the pink shirt and pink blazer. I'm like, this is weird. That man is actually a salmon. But then, you know, like, all the streetwear where it's like, this person's wearing, like, pretty much tissue boxes shoes. And like, God, like, too many flaps going on, and I'm like, what? The colors are just weird. A lot of them just have weird English sayings on them, like Project Closet. I was like, what the fuck? Project Closet. Or Project Closet, I guess I don't know. I'm like, what the fuck is that? What is going on here in the fashion industry? It seems like such a weird amalgamation of the past 20 years of American fashion. Like, in one scene there were people who look like they came out of the grunge era of the late 90s with a bunch of flannel and like torn jeans, except like about 3 sizes too big, so it dangled off of them like fucking, it was a hand-me-down from the 7-foot tall older brother they had. And then, you know, there'd be like jean jackets on the next person all at the same time. And then, like, I don't know, it's just so weird to see what fashion has become in that culture. You know what? Fashion, I feel like fashion, I'm bad at it, that's for sure. But at least the trends are a little bit easier to follow in America. I'm like, okay, you know what's in right now? High-waisted pants. Absolutely. And I kind of understand why. Because, you know, it makes you look a little bit skinnier, it can look good, you know, that's your choice. And it's like, leggings have certainly been in recently in terms of women's fashion. Men's fashion is just like very simple usually. It's like, hey, here you go. Men's, you know, like formal wear fashion, that changes. Like, you gotta go for a slimmer looking and more fitted suit than of the early 2000s where everybody went for baggier clothes, stuff like that. You know what? I can pick up on those. Be like, I see this, I see everybody's doing it, everybody's selling it, but then I look at it and like, and sure, I don't have a whole lot of examples, but that's just absurd in Korea and Japan. I'm like, what the fuck am I looking at? But you gotta think that, you know, television is a decent place to learn of at least fashion culture, because they're, you know, they generally tend to hire attractive looking people for as actors. So I'm like, okay, they probably have a production department that's like, yeah, this is what we want our people to look like. Especially if it's based off idols, which is kind of a general rule are supposed to be popular. Oh man, but it's strange stuff. Huge industry too. Like $1 billion in Japan every year for a fuck ton of little girls to be looked at by old men. I'm like, man, that's just strange as hell. I guess it's like a similar thing to beauty pageants in America, where like young girls being flaunted as like things. I'm like, I don't like this. Strange enough. Also, did you see that crop duster just like crop dust the fucking highway? That doesn't seem safe. I'm like, hey, maybe you shouldn't be flying that low, dude. That's like, pull up a little bit. Seems real dangerous. Don't fly that low in a plane. That can't be safe. Are we gonna run out of gas before we like get to the location, destination? That's the word. I mean, like, I hope not, but should be okay. Where I feel like I'm going too slow. I guess those. Jesus, that plane is a goddamn lunatic. He's gonna come over here and crop dust me. That just seems like a nightmare. I would never want to get crop dusted. As dumb as that sounds. Like there's probably no possible way of me getting crop dusted, but things real shit. Like, can't be good things in there for you to breathe. Beautiful terrain out here. Are we in Arizona or New Mexico? I'll never be able to tell the difference visually. Honestly, this also just kind of looks like California and Nevada as well. Just kind of space and small bushes. Oh, America, you look so similar in some parts, but so diverse in every other part. Also, it's huge. Who knew? Oh wait, I'm excited. Someday, 30 years from now, they're gonna add every single state, and I'm gonna be like, hell yeah. Did you see that tumbleweed? We're in New Mexico now, by the way. Thanks, sign. The tumbleweed came out of nowhere. I thought it was gonna fucking hit me like that train did. Tumbleweeds. I've never seen a tumbleweed in real life, because I don't live in the desert, so that might be interesting to go see. That's probably the dumbest fucking thing that you'd want to see. Like, it's just a ball of weeds. Ball of straw coming at you. Look out! God. Have you... So I remember... The desert just seems like a weird place. You know, there's also a lot of poisonous snakes there, and I'm like, that's a little spooky. You know, the last thing I would want to do is get bitten by a snake. But I remember I saw one picture of someone who was like, I'm a truck driver, and I saw a scorpion mating migration. This road, this highway just had like millions of scorpions crossing it. I'm like, holy fuck. What do you do in that situation? Like, I would feel bad about running them over, for one, because, you know, like, that's pretty rude. Scorpion's just trying to, like, live its life, and all of a sudden a fucking huge truck gets in the way. But two, you know, out of curiosity, if you stick a scorpion with its stinger up in the air, could it pop your tire? Is it sharp enough to pop a car tire? Like, I don't know. I don't know how sharp a stinger is, or how fucking, like, stable it would be after getting run over, first of all. I haven't seen many pop tires. I did see a guy, I was just out for a walk, this dude on a bicycle just hit, like, a piece of fucking glass and it popped. It blew his fucking front tire. I was like, holy shit, that's crazy. Didn't see it coming. Suddenly, you just blow a tire. There's some jerk threw a bottle in the street. You're like, damn, that sucks. Now what? Honestly. Can you easily change a bike tire? It's not like you got a spare. I guess you're just fucking walking. Hope you weren't too far from where you needed to go or where you started. Fucko. Oh, like, wow, that sucks. I haven't gone biking in years. It's just not a thing I really enjoy. Just, you know, like, boy, you can sure go places. Not as quick as a car, but also, like, using more energy than a car. Also, like, I could just walk or run if I wanted to, you know, like, get the exercise part out of it. I feel like those don't destroy your knees as much. I feel like knees are like, it always seems to come up in older people who are like, man, my joints hurt, you should really enjoy your youth. And I'm like, yeah, I feel like, you know, taking care of your joints is pretty important. Don't want to lose those. Seem pretty nice to be able to bend things. And I think the real question I have to ask is, how many knees do bees have? And I gotta imagine, first of all, you have to figure out what the definition of a knee is. And is it any place where your leg bends as a joint? Like, that's pretty weird, right? If it's anywhere, then, like, bugs have, like, 6 fucking joints in their legs where they can bend it. How many knees do they have? Or is a knee a very specific joint and they have something else? Penguins have knees. Did you know that? That's a fun fact for you. And they look freaky as hell. Any animal bone structure, like, there's some freaky facts about animals. Like, here's another fun one for you coming at you. The 1:30 a.m. Gecker's fun facts about animals. Eels don't have the muscles to be able to swallow, so instead they have a second set of jaws that when they catch something with the first set, the second set just comes up and fucking sucks it down into their stomach. And you're like, that's also incredibly hardcore, on top of being just like pretty cool. You can Google a eel X-ray if you want to see what that looks like. It's pretty rad. Also, apparently, a possible basis for the aliens in the Alien films. Those get that double set of jaw thing going on. Excuse me. Please don't get hit by a train in the middle of fucking New Mexico. I think we're good. So yeah, there we go. Other fun facts. Cuttlefish are cannibals. Not fun, just really unfortunate. I volunteer at a zoo, and one of the aquarists was like, you know what? I want to throw in a bunch of cuttlefish into a tank, and I'm pretty sure they won't kill each other. I come back, you know, every like week or whatever, and you know, every time I'd see it'd be like, well, there goes another one. There's less cuttlefish in here than there was last week, and that one cuttlefish, is he looking a bit bigger to you? Like about twice the size of a normal cuttlefish? I'm like, damn, that's strange. And then, you know, it's like, it's just a big battle royale of cuttlefish. It's like Fortnite. You put a bunch of cuttlefish in there, and they slowly start to eat each other until one is really big, and they continue to eat each other until there's one left, and then, you know, the short lifespan of cephalopods of like a few months to a year at most, and they're dead. And you're like, well, that was a shitty life. Those poor cuttlefish just had to kill each other. It's fucking brutal. Also, it's like, I don't want to watch a cuttlefish eat each other, because mostly it involves a lot of tentacles. Like, that's weird. That's strange. Tentacles. What are they about? Bunch of weird arm brains, and they're like, hey, I got a mind of my own here. I'm a tentacle. Somebody break down? I'm sorry to see that, Mr. Bus. Too bad I can't help you, because I know nothing about mechanical issues of vehicles. I am going 10 over the speed limit because finally there's nobody in front of me, but I also feel like I'm gonna tip over at any moment from a gust of wind, so I don't like this. We got only about 18 minutes till we get there. I believe in... I should probably slow down so I don't rear end this fucking truck. I'll do that favor to him. He doesn't deserve that. Getting rear-ended sucks. Can confirm. I've been in 2 accidents in my life. One was when I was younger. I was in my mother's car. We were in the left lane. Dead standstill traffic for some reason. Someone was going up ahead. This person just comes too fast into it and is like, well, I guess I'm gonna swerve to the left, hit the barricade, and then hit us. And I'm like, oh, that sucks. That was just bizarre. Like, you know, I was young enough where it didn't matter. So, you know, like, whatever. I should turn left. I don't know why I'm sitting in traffic when I'm not. Wait, I'm not turning left here because this is, in fact, a street I can't go down. Anyway, the other accident I was in a parking garage, coming out. Perhaps I was going a bit too speedy for a parking garage. But anyway, I was backed up into by somebody. Who then proceeded to give me fake insurance. So, you know, that went well. So yeah, careful when driving. Haven't been in any sort of accident or traffic incident since, and that was when I was like 17, so looking good. Ugh. Oh shit. Oh, I stretched. No, the green light. Don't change. Never change green light. I'm making it. I can make it. Oh, it's yellow already. I barely got out at the intersection. Oh, it's red. Oh, jeez. I remember seeing this poor truck. I live next to some funky intersections just because, you know, it's near a highway. But, you know, this poor guy, he was trying to take a right turn. So, you know, and he had a fairly sizable truck in a place where you probably shouldn't have a truck, but he was trying to merge onto the highway. So he had to take a right from a side street onto another side street that led to the entrance of the highway. And I passed by him. This guy, you know, he tried to turn right, but it's just such an awkward, oh, I had to turn into Walbert here. Sorry, Walbert. But yeah, he made such like such a quick turn that he completely fucked it up and was just stuck. And I'm like, this is fuck, dude. He's taking up like a whole lane of traffic. You know what? Skip it. I don't think I'm gonna make that one. That involves too many tight corners. But yeah, well that went well. No accidents, just a grand in speeding tickets. Easily pay that one off, I'm sure. Almost level 4. Look at that. How long has it been? It's been about 30 minutes. I think we can either take a short one or we can call it. I'm just gonna look. Give me like a short distance. This is, where's the distance at? Looks pretty long. This just tells me the mile. I want it like distance. Sender recipient cargo weight, route length. I guess that's what I'm looking for. Small route length. We're taking, holy shit, that's the wrong one. I was like, that's the smallest route length, dude? That's super far. No, Holbrook to Flagstaff, easy peasy. Maybe we do like Albuquerque area, and this one's is pretty short too. Yeah, we'll go for one more. I want to take some empty pallets. 43,000 pounds of fucking pallets. That's so many pallets. Fuck, dude. What are you gonna do with all these pallets? My mother, for my father's birthday this year, bought him a bird bath, or a sculpture, I guess, and a flower pot. Now, because apparently these are all art sculptures or something, these are not normal, like, bird baths. They're fucking gigantic, okay? That's the real problem with them. They're absolutely massive. Not to say that they aren't pretty, but more the fact that they're just so goddamn big that it's like, what are you gonna do with these things? They're so hard to move. It came in a pallet, because I had to help my dad with this, because what are you gonna do when you receive a 210-pound bird bath on a 100-pound potting plant, and you're like, holy shit, this is actually a pterodactyl bird bath. Dude, it's so big. It's not like, certainly it's not as big as you expect for that amount of weight, because it's actually just solid metal, and you're like, okay, this is unreasonably big to be able to be moved and used as a bird bath. So it came in a pallet. The dude unloaded it off his truck, nice enough, put it in our garage. Wait, are these just this is just a field of dinosaurs? I don't understand that one. Anyway, put it in the garage, and then like that was also a nice one. But just abandon us, and I'm like, what the hell are we doing with this pallet? It's not like we can really move things. It's just like first of all, what I'm really coming at is, you know, it was full of fucking pallets and just fucking like weird man-made straw material to fill it up. You know, like, this is just a logistical nightmare, because two of us cannot move this 200-pound bird bath. Like, that's just outrageous to assume that we would be able to. It's too big. I mean, certainly we tried a little bit. But anyway, that took 4 people to move in the end. But what also happened is, like, one, what do you do with these pallets? You just, like, throw away pallets? I don't know. I think they're still sitting out there. He's like, hey, there's some pallets here. Also, that straw that came in there is just, like, what the hell do you do with that? It was like, a first instinct, you know, does it burn? Because I don't know. But I also didn't want to, like, assume. We haven't had that music on for a while. I don't know where it went. Play me some song. But, like, you know, that'd be a reasonable thing to do, is just burn it. Granted, there's a shit ton of it. Didn't end up burning. So, you know, kind of fucked on that one. So we just put in a bunch of trash bags. There's like 6 filled trash bags with this straw stuff. I'm like, this is just ridiculous. All this packaging for a 210-pound bird bath. And a big plant. God, this is just outrageous. I don't even remember why I brought this story up, other than the fact that it sure is big and heavy. Wow. Heavy things are heavy. So yeah, there we go. Story of the year. Alright, so what are we doing? We're bringing empty pallets, which we don't get to see. That's why I brought it up. We're bringing pallets. I wanted to see just how many pallets constituted 46,000 pounds of pallets. Because I don't think, I do not think that much pallet could fit inside of this truck. Because, you know, pallets, as it turns out, you know, they're not huge. Or they're fairly sizable. Because it's just a bunch of wood stapled together or whatever. But it's not like it's filled on the inside of wood. It's not a log. It's just kind of standing. And I'm like, what are you going to do? Fit, like, maybe 50 pallets in this thing? That can't be 46,000 pounds. One person can move a pallet very easily. Can't move whatever's inside the pallets. So, yeah. Try not to order things that require a pallet jack to your home. It makes things surprisingly difficult. Life lesson. Yeah. But don't do that. That's just super annoying. Logistical... There's some things that are just too much hassle to deal with, and that's why man invented the wheel. Gotta move shit. Oh, yeah, well, I don't know what's worse. Either extraordinarily heavy things that just require two people, or things that are so goddamn wide and just weird shapes that require two people to move. I feel like, you know, you really could do this one person if not for the fact that you can't stretch out enough to pick it all up. Can't even move couches and shit. I remember one time as a kid, we had an old futon in the basement. They were like, hey, let's get rid of this. Alright, I don't use it. Whatever. Anyway, Dad asked me to help move it. Moved it down into the street. Some dude, while we were putting up into the street, was like, hey, can I get that for like 20 bucks? And my dad was like, sure. And I'm like, alright, this is the easiest fucking accidental money we could have ever gotten it. Because we were just going to dump it in the trash, I guess. So, you know, look at that. We got some money out of it. Like, that's super easy. I wish everything was that easy. Happen to, you know, do like half the work and let everybody else do it and pay you money. And I'm like, alright, well, I want to aim that for my life. Fuck doing anything for my own. I'm just gonna let it fall into my lap. That's not the case. I don't want that to be. Anyway. Jamming out, dude. I love all these free tunes. I hate how everybody goes faster than me. I'm just a big truck with a bunch of pallets. Don't fat shame me, you stupid cars. Just because I'm heavy doesn't mean I'm not beautiful. If I could just go a little bit faster, that'd be nice. That's why we need to buy our own truck, and that's what kind of the goal I was looking for in the end of the last series. I was like, I just need like a top tier truck because I really like accelerating more than at about the pace of I can't make a light because by the time it turns green and by the time I accelerate, it's then red. And I'm like, well, I took a red light fine every time an intersection came up. Try to stick to the interstates is the best you can. Just absurd. But we do have $34,000. We're looking good. I know the first truck cost $112,000. I don't know if that's something like I care to do immediately though. Maybe I can, you know, save up a little bit more, take out a loan, get a little bit more of a decent truck, and then go on my way. Pay off those loans. I don't want to be absurd and just have, you know, $500,000 in debt though. That's the thing. I'm not going to college here. I'm just trying to buy a truck. Oh, we have to get off at the next exit. Okay. Here we go. I was hoping to pass him, but we don't have enough time to pass him. Alright. Oh, he's slowing down. Oh, okay, we're fine. We're okay. You know what? We're okay. We're okay. He didn't like brake check us or anything. He's like, I've never been brake checked or brake checked anybody because that's just absurd. Like, why are you living that dangerously to drive that close to somebody? But man, I've seen some reckless driving. I remember I was coming down the highway and there was, you know, this was on like a 75 mile per hour interstate, and these people were going like 85 or 90, literally this person was 2 feet back from the other guy, and I'm like, this is actually insane. The guy in front could just hit the brake and they would both immediately be in an accident. I'm like, dude, calm down a little bit. First of all, you're already going like 15 miles an hour over the speed limit. Or even 15 miles an hour faster than me. I don't know if I was going the speed limit, to be honest. Go a little bit faster. Who knows? Just go with the traffic. But like, that's crazy. That's way too dangerous. Dangerous driving, reckless driving, real problems. Don't crash into each other. And that's why I'm gonna immediately trust my life in self-driving cars. Like, that sounds incredible. I remember that news story from pretty recently about the self-driving Uber that hit a woman crossing the street at like 1 a.m. And I'm like, at first I was like, well, that kind of sucks, dude. Like, that probably shouldn't have happened. But then I heard follow-up information that was like, it was pitch black and this person just sprinted out into the street, and how was anybody supposed to brake for that, human or program? And I'm like, you know what? That's probably true. Like, you know, can't predict everything, especially people that are, you know, jumping out in front of cars when it's pitch black out. Oh, damn it, we missed it again. Alright. No? No? Yeah. Crank it. I love that animation. That's incredible. Well, there we go. A quick, excellent one, just to get a little bit more cash in our pocket. Give me that $2,000 payoff for those, fucking speeding tickets. Well, I don't know. Should we take another long distance driving? We can go up to 1,600 miles. And we get a 20% higher reward for delivery distances longer than 1,000 miles. Or we can take something like high value cargo. You know what? I think we should probably get at least one of these, just so that we get the fucking, you know, unlocks for those kind of missions. Anyway, I think that's about does it for today. Thank you for watching another episode of American Truck Simulator, and I will see you next time.